Yeezus. Good old Yeezus. And this is one of those projects that I really don't listen as much as I used to. Not because it's bad, obviously. It's just one of those projects you revisit every once in a while whenever you're in the mood for it. You're not gonna have the same album on repeat forever. But there was definitely a point in my life where this was literally my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I listened to this shit every single day. And yeah, I want to talk about how it sounds like almost, 13 years later. The effect, the way it still holds up, and how fucking amazing this shit is, bro. I can't even lie, man. Now, I remember when Yeezus dropped, bro. Your boy B was like in 8th grade. I was like 13 or some shit like that. And I remember listening to this shit and like falling in love with it, bro. I fell in love with it. I fell in love when I heard Hold My Liquor, Blood on the Leaves. Like, it was insane. And I was so hyped that I went to school a few days later and I was telling my teacher how amazing it was, how much I liked it. And she looked at me and said, it's trash. She said, yeah, it could do way better. She said, it sounds like a bunch of noise. And I remember sitting there, bro, thinking, nah. I told her, like, yo, you're missing out. You're missing out. Fast forward, bro, to 2026. Your boy B is grown up. And I still feel the same exact way about this project. Like, this shit is insane, bro. Everybody always says, oh, it's ahead of time. And yeah, that's true. But I think it goes even deeper than that, bro. Sonically, this project was pushing boundaries in ways that nobody else was, bro. Starting an album with On Sight in 2013 with that beat is actually insane, bro. That's insane. And that first listen feels like you're getting hit by a fucking truck, bro. The production, the minimal cover art, the aggression, the industrial sound, everything about it just felt like it was coming from the future, bro. And I've been replaying Yeezus for like, I want to say the last 2-3 weeks. And what blows my mind is that, again, it sounds futuristic as fuck. Like, this doesn't sound like this dropped in 2013, bro. It doesn't even sound like a 2026 album, bro. Genuinely, it feels like something that could drop in like 2030s, bro, 2040s, bro. People would still call this innovative, and that's how far ahead this entire project is. And the older I get, the more I appreciate what Ye was trying to do here. I mean, for me, this wasn't an album made to be safe or even easier to digest. It wasn't chasing radio hits or trying to fit into whatever was popular in 2013. I felt like this dude, really just completely ignored the rules like he always does and made exactly what he wanted to make. And whether people understood it or not, it didn't really matter. But I think that's why the album has aged so fucking well. Like, when you go back and listen to it today, you start noticing all the little details, the distorted synths, the abrasive drums, the way the vocals were even mixed, all the weird transitions. They all somehow make perfect sense. The chaotic energy, but even though it's chaotic, it's controlled. Every sound feels intentional, and nothing is there just for the sake of being different, right? It all serves the atmosphere that Yeezus, the project, is trying to create. I also think this album proves something, that sometimes the best art isn't immediately accepted. A lot of people wrote it off when it first came out, like I said, because it just sounded so different from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy or even Graduation, right? They wanted another album that was easier to listen to, but when Ye went in the complete opposite direction, looking back now, that's exactly what makes Yeezus stand out. It refused to play it safe. And to me, that's the mark of a timeless album, bro. It doesn't just survive over time. It literally continues to feel fresh. right? Every time I come back to Yeezus, like I said, I hear something I didn't catch before, or appreciate a new song in a different way. You know, that's rare. That's super rare. And there are plenty of albums that I loved when they first dropped that don't hit the same years later. But you know, Yeezus somehow keeps it evolving every time I revisit it. And that's exactly why my respect for this project has only grown with time, bro. I mean, I don't listen to it every single day, like I said, but when I was 13, I definitely did. But every time I do come back, I'm reminded why I fell in love with it in the first place. It's bold, it's uncompromising, and it still sounds like it's years ahead of where music is at today. You know, albums like that don't come very often, bro. I always say that. And I honestly don't think we'll ever get another project like Yeezus again in terms of Ye's career. Let me know what you guys think about Yeezus. I know a lot of you guys fuck with it. Let me know what you guys think of the video down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.